Imagine waking up in ancient Athens. While we reach for cereal, the Greeks began their day with something quite different. The simple, yet storied Akratisma. In sun-drenched courtyards, men in traditional chitons gathered around stone tables. They dipped bread into wine, sharing olives and figs in a vital communal ritual. From the elite to the common worker, this fuel-powered a civilization. Was their nutrient-rich breakfast actually superior to ours? The answer might surprise you. Ever wonder how the greatest minds of ancient Athens stayed sharp and energized without modern convenience? Their secret began at dawn with a meal called Akratisma. In a quiet courtyard, a student dips coarse bread into undiluted wine. This simple ritual provided the steady glucose needed to fuel a day of rigorous debate and labor. The core was barley. Unlike modern processed grains, these were complex carbohydrates, providing a slow-release energy source that prevented the fatigue and sugar crashes common in our modern diet. Then came the olives. Packed with healthy monounsaturated fats, they offered a dense, slow-burning fuel. This combination sustained both the intense mental labor of philosophers and the physical toil of builders. By midday in the Agora, the results were evident. A society powered by the Mediterranean triad, grain, oil, and wine, achieving peak efficiency through nature's own perfect design. Perhaps the ancient world has something to teach us about modern vitality. Efficiency, it seems, is best found in the simplest ingredients, efficiency by nature. For the average citizen, breakfast wasn't about luxury. It was a functional necessity to fuel a long day of labor. Step inside a modest 5th century BCE home, where the morning light filters through a small window onto a wooden table. The menu was humble. A worker had stale barley bread and salty olives for the morning. He also had a small wedge of goat cheese, providing the protein needed for the work ahead in the fields or the workshop. The textures are rough and natural, reflecting the practical reality of living in a world of limited resources. For a touch of sweetness and energy, a few dried figs are added to the platter, a common and affordable treat. Hydration was essential, but rarely was wine drunk pure. In a clay crater, dark wine is heavily diluted with water. This diluted mixture provided a safe and refreshing drink that kept the common man hydrated without the effects of intoxication. We know of these simple routines not just from imagination, but from the very vessels the Greeks left behind. Ancient pottery shards and classical depictions show us the daily reality of the working class, often overlooked in grand histories. The poets Homer and Hesiod also wrote of these meals, describing the life-sustaining power of simple bread and wine. Preparation was swift. There were no elaborate ceremonies. The common worker ate quickly, often standing or on a simple stool. These foods, easy to store and quick to prepare, were the perfect energy source for the masses building a civilization. The Mediterranean triad of grain, oil, and wine wasn't just for philosophers debating in the Agora. It was the foundation of the entire Greek world, fueling the soldiers, farmers, and artisans of Athens. As the sun rises over the city streets, we see the legacy of a simple breakfast that helped build the ancient world. A meal of bread, cheese, and diluted wine, the humble beginning of a day in the life of ancient Greece. In ancient Greece, the first meal of the day was far more than simple nourishment. It was the ultimate declaration of one's social standing. For the elite, breakfast began with bread made from finely milled wheat, a stark contrast to the coarse, dark barley consumed by the poor. Presented on gleaming silver, this refined grain was a luxury that immediately distinguished the aristocrat from the common laborer at the break of dawn. A wealthy citizen, dressed in a chiton of translucent high-grade linen, reclines comfortably on a klein, a specialized dining couch designed for leisure. The morning is slow and effortless, as domestic slaves move quietly to arrange the table, underscoring the absolute ease of the elite lifestyle. The true centerpiece of the meal is the dietary, delicate honey cakes made from sesame seeds and the most expensive flour available in the Mediterranean. Rich, golden honey is drizzled generously over the cakes. In this era, honey was an incredibly costly commodity, a liquid signifier of true prosperity. Beside the cakes sit bowls of exotic nuts and imported dried fruits. Plump dates and high-grade figs are arranged with the precision of art. These imports speak to the vast trade networks of the ancient world, bringing the flavors of distant lands to the Athenian aristocrat's table. To wash it all down, a decorated clay oinako pours a stream of deep red wine, a staple that varied wildly in quality between classes. While the masses drank heavily diluted sour wine, the wealthy enjoyed theirs with far less water, or even undiluted as a rare, potent treat. This stark contrast in diet reinforced the rigid social hierarchy. Every morning, the gap between the worker and the aristocrat was physically consumed. As the meal concludes, the citizen prepares for a day of politics or philosophy, his body fueled by the very best the world could offer. The sophisticated atmosphere of the villa serves as a reminder that in ancient Greece, power was maintained through every detail of one's daily life. Even today, these ancient delicacies remain symbols of a culture that turned the simple act of eating into a display of absolute grandeur. Wealth in every bite, a legacy of luxury that continues to fascinate and define our understanding of the ancient elite. In the heart of ancient Athens, the search for clean water was a daily struggle for its citizens. Public wells, carved from aged stone, often held stagnant water filled with debris and unseen impurities. Drinking from these sources directly posed a significant health risk, necessitating a clever and practical solution. This is why the Greeks looked to their vineyards, not for intoxication, but for preservation. A stream of deep red wine falls into a clay pitcher, beginning the essential process of purification. The natural acidity and alcohol within the wine acted as a primitive but highly effective disinfectant. As the liquids swirl together, the wine transforms the questionable water into a safe and hydrating beverage. This morning ritual was a pillar of health, ensuring the body remained strong and resilient for the day's work. For breakfast, a simple stone table would hold the day's first meal: barley bread and diluted wine. Known as Akratisma, this meal focused on utility, providing energy without the fog of drunkenness. The barley bread was often dipped directly into the mixture, softening the grain and easing digestion. It was a balanced start, designed to sustain a person through long hours of labor or intense philosophy. The center of this practice was the crater, a large vessel where the perfect ratio was achieved. This was no heavy pour. A small amount of wine was added to a vast quantity of water. Intricate black figure decorations on the clay surface celebrated the vitality and strength of the Greek spirit. By controlling the dilution, they mastered the art of hydration while honoring their dietary traditions. As the sun rises over the Athenian agora, the city begins to stir with focused and orderly energy. Long shadows stretch across marble columns, highlighting the grandeur of a society fueled by careful habits. Fueled by their tempered morning meal, the citizens were ready to build, debate, and innovate. Their health was not a matter of luck, but a result of intentional and practical daily choices. A final look at the staples of life: the pitcher, the bowl, and the bread on a quiet stone table. These simple elements represent a philosophy where health and functionality were woven into every meal. Even today, the Greek pursuit of vitality serves as a timeless blueprint for wellness through design. Vitality by design, a legacy of health that began with a single, diluted drop. The foundation of Greek vitality rested on three essential pillars: bread, oil, and wine. This Mediterranean triad was a design for endurance. Simple ingredients, harvested from the sun-drenched earth, provided the steady energy needed to build empires and birth the world's greatest philosophies. Today, we can reclaim this ancient wisdom. By swapping processed sugars for whole grains and nuts, we echo the healthy patterns of the past. It is a return to mindful consumption, where every bite serves a purpose, bridging the gap between antiquity and our modern well-being. The secret lies in the slow burn. Fiber-rich barley and healthy fats from olives provide sustained fuel without the dreaded midday energy crash. This is precision through simplicity. It is a timeless strategy for maintaining a sharp mind and a resilient body in a chaotic world. As the sun sets on our journey, the lesson remains clear. Vitality isn't found in complex supplements, but in the elegant design of nature. Take this blueprint into your own life. Start your day with the strength of the ancients and unlock your full potential.